In today's video, I want to give you guys a plethora of updates on Ghost of Tsushima regarding its gameplay and other content. As you guys probably know, there was a pretty lengthy state of play event that was 18 minutes long, and it was entirely focused on Ghost of Tsushima. We got a lot of new information. Gematsu has a very good rundown on it, so I want to give them credit. Link to that in the description box below, but we'll take you guys through that. I'll give you guys my opinion. Outside of that, Capcom has got some updates on their release schedule for the rest of the year and heading into March of next year. We'll talk that at the end of this video, but off the top, want to talk about Ghost of Tsushima because I feel like after the train wreck that was what happened with The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima is now the game that the majority of PlayStation 4 the audience is looking forward to. Maybe that is a little bit hyperbolic, I don't know, you guys can be the judge of that in the comment section, but what I've noticed is it seems like a lot of the attention has focused towards Ghost of Tsushima being that killer app for Sony in 2020 for the PlayStation 4. Obviously, we'll have PlayStation 5 games later in the year. Nevertheless, publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment and developer Sucker Punch Production debuted 18 minutes of new Ghost of Tsushima gameplay during dedicated State of Play broadcast today, which showcased a lot of different content. That includes exploration, combat, customization, the photo mode, which is gonna be awesome. PlayStation 4 first-party titles always have a photo mode, but this is gonna be happening in Ghost of Tsushima, and you can just imagine with the kind of setting that Ghost of Tsushima has, that has me very excited. And also another piece of exciting presentation tidbit that we already knew about, but it is going to have a Japanese voice track and samurai cinema. We'll talk about all of that. For exploration, Sucker Punch asked itself, quote, how can we let the inside island guide you in the most thematic and immersive way possible? Now, if you guys are unaware, this is a game that's not going to have things like waypoints and things of that nature. They wanted to eliminate that and kind of leave the gamer and the consumer to their own devices. Now, at the same time, they also want to make sure that you can get from one point to the other and not get completely lost and not know what to do for a lengthy period of time. That's why they introduced the guiding wind, which allows you to call a gust of wind at any time that guides you to your destination. So it kind of incorporates the thematics and the world with it while also giving you an idea of where you need to go for your next objective. Does it really make any logical sense that you can call in a gust of wind? No, but this is a video game at the end of the day, and I'm sure they're of the mindset that, hey, we don't want a lot of people getting lost and not knowing where to go and still wanting to make the game as engaging as possible, and I do think the guiding wind is the best way to do this possible, and it was probably implemented pretty well, given that they put a lot of attention to detail to really knocking this setting out of the park. While exploring, you may come across smokestacks indicating people in need of help, bird that leads to points of interest such as hidden objects, abandoned buildings with rare resources, foxes that guide you to shrines, and more. Once you have visited a location, you'll be able to return later via fast travel. In combat, Jin can fight both as a samurai and as the ghost. When fighting as the samurai, Jin challenges enemies honorably to lethal standoffs, parrying to open them up. When fighting as a ghost, it's completely different, and he fights using more deceptive methods such as distractions to lure enemies to their deaths. Jin can use his grappling hook to climb or swing across gaps, or even uses enemies' own weapons against them. So I really like the idea of a traditional samurai when Jin is feeling honorable and he wants to have a straight up one-on-one duel, but he also has this other side to him, the ghost, where he's gonna do anything to get what he wants and any means necessary to actually win a battle, even if that does mean using a couple of more underhanded tactics. I think this is gonna add a layer to the gameplay and a little bit of diversity to the gameplay as well. Also, customization is gonna be a big element to the game. Players can customize Jin with various gear, including charms that give him an edge in battle. In addition to charms, Jin can use technique points to learn and upgrade skills. You can even change the color of Jin's armors using the flowers you find in the fields. And of course, as I mentioned at the top, photo mode is gonna be a thing, and this is incredibly exciting to me because photo mode is great in any game. I've seen some amazing images captured in Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 1, God of War, and all of those games, but Ghost of Tsushima to me has one of the most engrossing settings that I've seen out of a PlayStation game. And even more so than an open world like in Spider-Man, it seems like Ghost of Tsushima has an incredible amount of attention to detail, so I think the photos that gamers take are just gonna look magnificent depending on if you get the right angle and things of that nature, and that is gonna include features such as color grading, depth of field, emotion settings, wind speed, and direction, particles, music, and more. So they seem to be going in on this photo mode, and I'm happy about that because that's just gonna add a level of aesthetic appeal to the game as well. Both the Japanese voice track option and Samurai Cinema mode can be selected activated before the beginning of the game. Samurai Cinema is a windy black and white film grain mode that replicates the feel of an old samurai film. I don't know if that's the way I would like to play the game right away. However, that is something that maybe is going to add a layer of replayability to the game, where I am going to want to go back and experience the game with a different presentation aesthetic. And as far as the Japanese voice track goes, man, I'm 50-50 on whether or not I want to play this game with the English voice track or the Japanese voice track. It might be another instance of I play the game the first time with the English voice track, and if it compels me enough, I mean, the game has to be good at the end of the day, and I think it will be, I'll go back and play it again with the Japanese voice track and decide on which one I think is better. And then if there is a Ghost of Tsushima 2, well then, I'll have my decision made from that point. Nevertheless, with things like a Japanese voice track and the Samurai Cinema mode, I think they're adding a level of detail and things that they really don't have to do. Samurai Cinema is something they absolutely do not need to put in the game. Japanese voice track, I think obviously in a game like Ghost of Tsushima and its setting, it's something that is a little bit more important, but they could have easily gotten away without putting that in the main game. But hey, we have that and we have Samurai Cinema. It seems like they're going above and beyond with the detail of this game. So again, Ghost of Tsushima is due out July 17th. It seems like, again, that all of you guys are super excited for this game, as am I. I'm often of the mindset that not every game is worth $59.99 day one. Ghost of Tsushima is one of those games that I really think is going to deliver, and I think it's such an important game for Sucker Punch. I've said it before, but Sucker Punch has always been that studio that, as far as the Sony studios are concerned, whether it be Guerrilla, Naughty Dog, although their perception has changed a little bit, goes to show how quickly things can change in gaming, Sony Santa Monica, and all of the elite studios, and if you want to look from a third-party standpoint, like a From Software, these studios that are just heralded at such an elite level, Sucker Punch is not at that tier. Sucker Punch has never been at that level of being harkened as one of the best studios in the world. I think if Ghost of Tsushima delivers, they are going to elevate themselves, and I think that establishes Sony in having another studio that is heralded by gamers at an elite level. And I think with Naughty Dog losing a little bit of their luster, it is imperative for Sucker Punch to deliver a high-quality title, and with Ghost of Tsushima, I do think they're going to deliver on that. I don't want to completely crap on The Last of Us because I have not played the game yet, but you guys know what's up with that game. At least I think the majority of you guys do. Whatever the case may be, again, Ghost of Tsushima out July 17th. Alright, moving on from that, Capcom is going to be releasing multiple major new titles by March 31st of 2021. The company aims to achieve a record 28 million unit sales in the fiscal year ending March 2021, which it aims to do by promoting a digital strategy via the expansion of sales regions and flexible pricing, releasing the aforementioned major titles and pursuing ongoing sales for major titles from past years. Multiple major new titles probably means multiple AAA games at that. We know that a new Resident Evil will probably be happening prior to March 31st. Resident Evil 3 was in fiscal year 2021, I believe, as well. Yes, because the fiscal year ends on March 31st, and Resident Evil 3 literally got out right at the end of that, or right after the end of that, I should say. So who knows if Resident Evil 8, that rumored title, will be making it in this fiscal year. Other games that I think people want to see: Dragon's Dogma 2, Okami 2, a new Mega Man title, which I do think is coming along. I do think they're developing a new Mega Man game. But in comparison, in the fiscal year ended March 2018, when Capcom shipped Monster Hunter World and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, the company achieved 24.4 million total unit sales. In the fiscal year ended March 2019, when it shipped Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry 5, they achieved 25.3 million total unit sales, and the fiscal year ended March 2020, when it shipped Monster Hunter World Iceborne, it had 25.5 million total unit sales. So you can see they're bumping up little by little. Capcom also announced that sales of the Resident Evil 3 remake have topped 2.5 million units, and sales of Monster Hunter World have surpassed a whopping 15.5 million units. Wow, that is a ridiculous number. Good on Capcom for that. I mean, if you compare Capcom to what they were at a few years ago, and now you look at what they've become, they're becoming one of the best publishers in all of gaming. I wasn't as high on Resident Evil 3 Remake as I was on Resident Evil 2. I thought Resident Evil 2 was just a tremendous remake. Resident Evil 3, obviously some cut content, a very short game. Resident Evil Resistance was not anything to really write home about. However, their batting average is pretty freaking good right now with Resident Evil 2, Monster Hunter World Iceborne. You had Devil May Cry 5, the Mega Man 11, the Mega Man collections I think were great value, even though they're not necessarily new games. I did think they offered good value, and it seems like they're shaping up a pretty major fiscal year 2021, so let's hope to see that turning out pretty well. But that's going to conclude this video. Again, Ghost of Tsushima is shaping up to be one of the best games of the year, and it is looking to be a great swan song for the PlayStation 4 in terms of major releases, and Capcom is looking to release multiple major new titles by March 31st of 2021. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.